जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरि बोल निताई गौरा हरि बोल। जय किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर किशोरी। जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। प्रभुपाद Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajagacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya Acharya Guruvar Ki Granthiraj Shri Mat Bhagavatam Ki Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. So today we will be serving Granthiraj Srimad Bhagavatam in chronological order, Canto number 10, chapter 47, Brahmar Geet, or the Song of the Bee. And today's verse is verse number 21. So, Api bata madhupuryam Aryaputra anunaste Smarati sapitra gehan Saumya bandhumscha gopan Kvachid api sakathanah kim karinam mite grinite bhujam aguru sugandham murdhani adya sat kadanu api bata madhupuryam Aryaputra anudhanaste Smarati sapitra gehan Saumya bandhumscha gopan Kvachit api sa kathanaha Kinkari nama grinite Bhujam aguru sugandham Murdhani adyasat kadanu Api bata madhupuryam Smarati sapitra gehan Saumya bandhumscha gopyan Kvachidapi sakatha Nah kim karinam grinate Bhujamaguru sugandham Murdhani adyasat kadanu Api bata madhupuryam Aryaputra adunaste Rasnapitra gehan Saumya bandhumscha gopan Kvachit api sakathanaha Kinkari nama grinite Bhujam aguru sugandham Murdya dasat kadanu. Anybody else? Api bata madhupuryam Aryaputraha adhanuste Smarati saha pitrigeha Saumya bandhim chagopan Kvachidapi kathasanaha Kim karinam grinite Bhujam aguru sugandham Murdhani adya sat kadanu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. Kindly repeat. Api, certainly. Bata, regrettable. Madhupuryam, in the city of Mathura. Aryaputraha, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Aduna, now. Aste, resides. Smarati, remembers. Saha, he. Pitrin Gehan, the household affairs of his father. Soumya, O great soul Uddhav. Bandhun, his friends. Cha, and Gopan, the coward boys. Kvachit, sometimes. Api, or. Saha, he. Kataha, talks. Naha, of us. King Karinam, of the maid servants. Grinite, relates. Bhujam, hand. Aguru Sugandham, having the fragrance of Aguru. Murdhani, on the head. Ahasyat, will keep. Kada, when. Nu, maybe. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Translation. O Uddhav. Everybody can repeat, please. O Uddhav. It is indeed regrettable that Krishna resides in Mathura. Does he remember his father's household affairs and his friends, the coward boys? O great soul, does he ever talk about us, his maidservants? When will he lay on our heads his agaru scented hand? Purport. The translation and word meanings for this verse are taken from Srila Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 6, verse number 68. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes very poetically with deep spiritual insight about the emotions expressed in this and the previous 9 verses. He interprets Radharani's feelings as follows. Srimati Radharani thought, since Krishna was once satisfied in Vraj but left for Mathura city, won't he also develop a desire to leave that place and go somewhere else? Mathura is so close to Vrindavan that it's possible he may even come back here. Krishna is the son of a respectable gentleman, Nanda Maharaj. So he must be staying in Mathura because of his sense of obligation to his father, who authorized his going there. On the other hand, while Nanda's whole life is dedicated exclusively to Krishna, Nanda is so innocent that he allowed himself to be tricked by the Yadus who brought Krishna to Mathura. Krishna must be thinking, alas, alas, since even my father could not bring me back to Vraj, what can I do to return there? Thus Krishna must be impatient to come back here, and so he has sent you a messenger. It is only because of Nanda Maharaj he is so innocent that he allowed his son to leave. If Nanda Maharaj had allowed Krishna's mother, the queen of Vraj, to do so, she would have climbed onto Akrur's chariot and holding her son by the neck, gone off to Mathura with him, followed by all the gopis. But this was not possible. Ever since Krishna left, Nanda Maharaj has been stunned by separation from him. And Nanda Maharaj's treasury rooms, storehouses, kitchens, sleeping quarters, opulent houses, and so on and are now vacant, unswept, and uncleansed. They are littered with grass, dust, leaves, and cobwebs. Does Krishna ever remember his father's houses? And does he sometimes remember Subal and his other friends who are now lying stunned in other neglected houses? The women in Mathura who now associate with Krishna cannot know how to serve him in this way that pleases him most, in the way that pleases him most. What then see he is not satisfied and ask how they can make him happy? Does he tell them about us gopis? Krishna must tell them. You city ladies cannot please me as much as the gopis of Vraj. They are most experts in stringing flower garlands, perfuming their bodies with ointments, playing various rhythms and melodies on stringed instruments, dancing and singing in the rasa performance, displaying their beauty, charm, and cleverness, and skillfully playing at questions and answers. They are especially expert in the pastimes of meeting one's lover and showing jealous anger and other signs of pure love and affection. Surely, Krishna must know this. Therefore, he'll probably tell the women of Mathura, my dear woman of the Yadu clan, please go back to your families. I no longer desire to associate with you. In fact, I'm going back to Mathura. I'm going back to Raj. Early tomorrow morning. When will Krishna speak like this and come back here to place his hand, fragrant with aguru, on our heads? Then he will console us, saying, O beloveds of my heart, I swear to you that I will never abandon you again and go elsewhere. Indeed, I have not been able to find anyone in all the three worlds with even a trace of your good qualities. Thus, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad interprets the feelings of Srimati Radharani. The Acharya further explains, the present text displays speech called Sujalpa, as described by Srila Rupa Goswami. Yatra javatsa gambhiryam sadainyam sahachapalam soktanam cha hari prushtah sasujalpa nigatyate. When out of honest sincerity a lover questions Sri Hari with gravity, humility, unsteadiness, and eagerness, such speech is known as Sujalpa. Reference is Ujjwal Nilamani 14.200. Concluding this section of chapter 47, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that there are 10 divisions of divine madness, Divya Unmad, which are expressed by the 10 divisions of Chitra Jalpa or variegated speech. Such divine madness is shown in the special pastimes of bewilderment, which itself part of the supreme bliss, Mahabhav of Srimati Radharani. The Acharya quotes the following verses from Rupa Goswami's Ujjwal Nilamani, text chapters 14, 1.74, 178 through 80, to explain these ecstasies. Prayo vrindavaneshwaryam mohanu ayam udanchati etasya mohanakhyasya gatim kam api upenyusaha brahmabhakapi vaichitri divyonmada itrate udgurna chitra jalabdhyas tadveda bhava mataha प्रेष्टस्य सूरुद आलोके गूढ़ रसाम्भि जम्भृतः भूरि भावमयो जल्प यस्य त्रिव्रोकानिथाथिमः चित्र जल्पद सांगोयम प्रजल्प परिजल्पितः विजल्प अजल्प संजल्प excuse me, Avajalpa abhijalpitam ajalpaha pratijalpascha sujalpaschi cheti kirtitaha. It is virtually only within the princesses of Vrindavan, the princess of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani, that ecstasy of bewilderment arises. She has attained to a special stage of this bewilderment, a wonderful state that resembles delusion, known as Divya Unmad. It has many aspects which come and go unsteadily, and one of those manifestations is Chitra Jalpa, this talk induced by her seeing her beloved's friends. Beloved's friend is filled with covered anger and compromises many different ecstasies. It culminates in her intense, anxious eagerness. This Chitra Jalpa has 10 divisions known as Prajalpa, Parijalpa, Vijalpa, Ujalpa, Sangya Jalpa, Avajalpa, Abhijalpa, Ajalpa, Pratijalpa, and Sujalpa. Finally, some authorities say that Krishna himself, eager to drink the sweetness of his beloved's speech, assumed the form of the messenger bee. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manoyabhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sa Agrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. आराध्यो भगवान व्रजेश तनयस तद्धाम वृंदावनम रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधुवर्गे न तया कल्पिता श्रीमद् भागवत पुराणयमलं प्रेम पुमार्थो महान् श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतैदं नायत्रयाग्रह परः निगमकल्पतरो गलितं फलं सुखमुखाद्रमृतं द्रवमृतं संयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिक भुवि भावुका नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृण्वन्ता स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तनं हृदयन्तस्थ भद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सतां नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी आजानुलंबितो भुजौ कनकायवधातो संकीर्तनै पितरवो कमलायताक्षो विश्वंभरो द्विजवरो युगधर्मपालो वंदे जगत प्रियकरो करुणावतारो पतित पावन निताय गौर सुंदर की जय नवनीरद निंदित कांतिधरम रससागर नागर भूपवरम शुभवंकिम चारु शिखंड शिखिम भज कृष्ण निधिम व्रजराज सुतम राधिका सरोद इंदु निंदिमुख मंडली वंदिये श्रीपाद पद्म वृषभानुनंदिनी श्री श्री किशोर किशोरी की जय कदाचित कालिंदी तट विपिन संगीत तरवो मुदाभिरी नारी कमल स्वाद मधुप रमा शंभु ब्रह्मा गणेश अर्चित पदो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भव तुमे यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत प्रसादो यस्य अप्रसादात् न गति कुतोपि दयांस्तु वांस यस्य स्त्री संध्यां वंदे गुरोः श्री चरणा रविंदम So, my obeisances unto all the assembled Vaishnavas, my hundreds and thousands of obeisances to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and our Gaudiya Acharyas, who are always the pleasing, most pleasant to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This particular chapter, chapter 47 of the 10th canto, known as the Brahmar Geet. Brahmar means bee, a bumblebee, and Gita means the song. And this is a very exalted chapter when it comes to discussing the ecstasies that are felt by just looking at the messenger or talking to the messenger of Krishna by the gopis of Vrindavan, especially, although her name is not mentioned here, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who is one of our very foremost acharyas in the Gaudiya line, he's the one who has composed the Mangalarti that we sing every day, Samsara Davanal. And very exalted Vaishnava in the line of Radharaman Chakravarti Thakur. And his disciple was Baldev Vidyabhushan. And in that line came Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. And of course, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada, 32nd in line, right from the parampara where Krishna first gave the transcendental knowledge to a very special Brahma, where he gave not only knowledge of creation, but also gave him the transcendental knowledge of the highest uh, theistic values, and we find that in the 5th chapter of the Brahma Samhita, where Lord Brahma himself was initiated by Sri Krishna into the Kam Gayatri mantra through his sound vibration of the flute. And that reveals the ecstasies and the domain of Golok Vrindavan. And amongst all the different incarnations of the Supreme Lord, the different swarupas or his expansions, the original source is Nandanandan Sri Krishna, Yashodanandan Krishna, Shri Kishore Krishna. So, to have information about him is of utmost importance to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And not only importance, but it brings about a certain degree of the highest prema or love, which is unfathomable. And we see that prema or love expressed here by Srimati Radhika. In this verse, Radharani tells Uddhav that it is so regretful that Krishna is residing in Mathura. Does he ever remember the Aryaputra? Aryaputra means a very, very exalted and a very gentlemanly title, which is Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj is addressed as Aryaputra here. So the gopis are so respectful. And knowing about Nanda Maharaj, who is the king of Raj, I just sang a little verse. Navanira the Nindita Kanti Dharam, Rasosagara Nagara Bhupavaram, Shubhavanki Macharu, Sikhanda Sikkim, Bhaja Krishna Nidhim Vraja Raja Sutam. So Vrajraj is Nanda Maharaj, and Suta means the son. So let us worship the son of Nanda Maharaj. That is the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada says there are many types of Krishna, but we are only concerned with the son of Nanda Maharaj. So, if you, in one of the purports of that famous bhajan, Bhajahu Re Mana Sri Nanda Nandana Abhay Charanaravindare, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that, oh my dear mind, please worship the son of Nanda Maharaj. And then he mentions in that purport, there are many types of Krishna, but we are only concerned with the son of Nanda Maharaj. So, that shows that is our identity as particular specialty of Vaishnavas. The one who spoke Bhagavad Gita is different. He's not Nanda Maharaj's son. He is Vasudev Krishna who spoke. The one in Mathura is Mathuresh Krishna. And that same Krishna who went to Dwarka, he became Dwarkadish. So there he is in the form of a Kshatriya, not as a Vaishya, not as a coward boy. And actually speaking, there is a secret that has been revealed by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakurpad, by Rup Goswami, by Sanatan Goswami, and our leading Gaudiya Acharyas, that Mother Yashoda gave birth to two. She gave birth to Yogamaya, and also she gave birth to her own son, Yashodanandan Krishna. In the Bhagavad also, there are certain verses that indicate, there is one particular word, Nanda Atmaja. So, Nanda means Nanda Maharaj, Atma means from him, and Ja means to Janam, means to give birth. So, the son of Nanda Maharaj. So, these are all these very, very finer nuances. And when, of course, Vasudeva came from Gokul at the stroke of midnight, bringing Vasudev Krishna into Gokul, Yogamaya covers him sufficiently so that he can only see the baby girl. And his vision is blocked and he does not see the baby boy that was born to Yashoda, mother. So then he swaps the girl and takes it back to Mathura. And the rest is history, we all know that. And then what happens to Vasudeva Krishna? And here on the right is Nandanandan, on the left is Vasudeva Krishna, which was swapped with the baby girl. Before Mother Yashoda wakes up, Vasudeva Krishna merges into Nandanandan Krishna. He merges. And It is a fact, it is said, our Rasikacharyas, that Krishna doesn't even take a step out of Vrindavan. Ekam padam na gacchati Vrindavanam. So then, who went to Mathura? Who killed Kamsa? Who sent Uddhav? So it is Vasudev Krishna on the border of Vrindavan and Mathura when Krishna Balram were taken on the chariot by Akrura. Akrura was sent by Kamsa to invite them into a wrestling match with the intention of killing them. So, on the border of Vrindavan and Mathura, Akrura stopped and he offered his obeisances to Vrindavan when he was just ready to leave. And at that time, Vasudeva Krishna separates from the body of Nandanandan Krishna. And Nandanandan Krishna stays in Vrindavan in the Bhav form. And this is given, all this information is there, especially the Gaudiya. Otherwise, nobody knows this. It's the ardent devotees in the line of Mahaprabhu. They have been revealed this. Because who is Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. It's Radha and Krishna of Raj. And the topmost rasa or the mellow known as the Madhurya rasa. So, it is Vasudeva Krishna who goes to the Mathura and he kills Kansa, releases his father Vasudeva, mother Devaki, grandfather. Then they both, establish the father as the king, and they assist him, and then so on and so forth. And at that time, Nandanandan Krishna is there within Vrindavan in every atom, feeling that separation himself also. But because Vasudeva Krishna had witnessed all the sweet pastimes in Vrindavan, he also feels the separation. I can give a very simple example to understand this, and perhaps we can even understand the mood of Lord Jagannath, which was revealed because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prior to that, the worship of Lord Jagannath was going on for millions of years, since some Satya Yuga. It is mentioned in the Skanda Puran. It is mentioned, the worship of Lord Jagannath. And Lord Jagannath is Vaikuntha Adhipati. He is the master of Vaikuntha. In the awe and reverence and opulence, he is being worshipped. So the temple of Lord Jagannath is known as, predominantly represents the opulence of Dwarka or Vaikuntha, the Jagannath temple. And many, many Vaishnava kings came. Lord Jagannath manifests to King Indrajumna and then his descendants and all. But when Mahaprabhu finally came to Puri, he revealed some amazing nuances about the mood of Lord Jagannath. So Lord Jagannath, actually, if we look at their expressions, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Devi, time is really of the essence. So, but I am trying to get into this mood of the verse prior to kind of build a little bit of a foundation. Prabhupada has amazing purport, and so many verses of Rupa Goswami's, Ujjwal Ninamani have been quoted here. Perhaps this verse alone can take months just to go, if we go into a lot of, even if we scratch the surface. But anyways, Lord Jagannath, his eyes are wide. He's maddened. That maddening is called what is described here in the mood of Srimati Radharani, which is called Unmada. Unmad means to get intoxicated, to become crazy out of love. So we see Lord Jagannath and of course his siblings, they miss Vrindavan so much. And out of just separation in Vrindavan, they become stupefied like statues. Their hands recline, their mouth is agape. Like sometimes when we hear some news of shock, whether too good or too bad, we cannot even talk. And we just stand still. No way. Right? We become like statues. And that even happens to persons who have gone into that kind of ecstasy. That is called the Ashtasattvic Vikars. The 8 different symptoms. That is mentioned in the Mangalarati by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. What are those? In the Romancha, Kampa, Ashru, Taranga Bhajo, Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. The few ecstasies that is meant romancha, horripilation. Horripilation means the standing of the hairs on the body. Goosebumps, we call that in a common terms. Romancha, kampan, shivering, trembling. Ashru taranga, rivers of tears flow because of that ecstasy. So we see that in those lordships when they were in Dwarka and they heard about Vrindavan from Rohini Mata, although they were behind the doors. And one day Narad Muni came and the queens, they gathered around him. Naradji, Naradji, we have a question. We are troubled. Please tell us, what should we do? What is your dilemma? Naradji says, well, every night Krishna is crying in his sleep and he's calling out the names. He's calling about Vrindavan. He's calling the names of the cows and calling the names of the gopis and his friends. And especially he's calling the name of Radha and his pillow is wet. And he even pulls my veil thinking I'm Radha and says, Radha, hey Radhe, pulling my sari, my upper garment, thinking it is Radha. So are we not good wives? Do we not serve him so well? Are we not so skilled in serving our husband in all the different ways? We are very chaste, Naradji. And we do not need to blow our own trumpet. You know that, Naradji. So then Naradji says, yes, Vrindavan. Vrindavan is an ecstatic place that Krishna is always hankering, and especially we're here when he's in separation. But the best person to ask about Vrindavan is Rohini Mother. So they called Rohini Mother. And Rohini Mother says, yes, I can start speaking about it because she witnessed it. Rohini Mother is the second wife of Vasudeva. When Vasudeva was in jail with Devaki, Mother Rohini was sent to Gokul under the protection of Nanda Maharaj. And there she stayed, so she saw all those beautiful, sweet Madhurya or Madhurya pastimes of Sri Krishna. She witnessed them. And she started narrating everything to the gopis. But she said, before I do that, somebody has to close the doors and guard the doors. Otherwise, if Krishna, Balram, if they come, they will go into some kind of a madness that is called unmad. That's the same words that are being used here in this particular verse. They will go into some kind of a delusion. They will be stupefied. So somebody closed the door and glared. So Subhadra Devi, she said, Mother, I will do that. I will take that responsibility. She closes the door and she stands outside keeping guard. And all the 16,000 queens of Dwarka are seated around Mother Rohini, and Mother Rohini is speaking about Vrindavan. As Krishna and Balaram are seated in the Sudharma hall in Dwarka, lo and behold, they are the supreme personalities of Godhead. It was situated in everybody's heart. They started feeling something is going on. So they left the assembly of the kings and the ministers and everybody and started proceeding towards the palace of Rohini Mother and the queens. And as they proceeded, they saw Subhadra waiting outside guarding. And as they approached her, Subhadra says, brothers, you cannot go inside. Why? Because it's the order of Rohini Mother. Oh, Rohini Mother has ordered that. But then what's going on? And they put their ear to the door. And there they heard the narrations of Sri Vrindavan's sweetness and the pastimes. Subhadra Devi could not also hold back, and she started hearing. And the moment they heard the ecstasy of Vrindavan, the pastimes, the sweet pastimes of Krishna and Vrindavan, they all went into this ecstasy. And their hands shrunk, and their legs shrunk, and their mouths were agape. And everything curled in like a tortoise, displaying all those in the separation of Vrindavan, the love, the unmad of Sri Vrindavan Dham. When all was done and finished, they opened the doors and everybody came out, and Naradji came out, and they came back to their own senses, just in the normal forms. They looked at Naradji, and Krishna says, what did you do? I'm sure you are the source of this. So Naradji kind of, felt a little ashamed, thinking that, I'm the one, maybe I caused pain. But then he said, no, Krishna says, no, Narad, no, I'm very pleased with you. You reminded us of Vrindavan. You were instrumental in Mother Rohini speaking about Vrindavan. Ask me a boon. I'm so pleased with you. Naradji says, I don't need anything. The only thing that I have is bhakti, and that's the best wealth I have. I don't need anything. Krishna says, no, to please me, ask. That is a Vaishnava, to please the Lord. Anya vilashita shunya jnana karma navritam anukulyana Krishna anushilanam tad bhakti ruttam. Rupa Goswami mentions this in the Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, which he extracted from the from Naradji's scriptures. And he has taken that. Anya bilashita shunya, we should not have any material desire. Shunya means zero. Not even for jnana, not even for knowledge. And there's no question of karma. Jnana karma anavritam. Anavritam means it should be bereft of. Even a tinge of knowledge and karma. Then what should we do? Those negations, yes, my dear Naradji, you have mentioned. Oh, my dear Rupa Goswami, you have mentioned. What is the positivity? Positivity is anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. Tad bhakti ruttam. Whatever pleases Sri Krishna, one should do. That is uttam bhakti. That is best bhakti. So yes, okay, Naradji says that I will accept. You want to give me, it will please you, I will accept boon. So now that you have asked me, I will tell you what I want. And he says, just a few moments ago, we all witnessed these three forms who are stupefied, who are dumbstruck in ecstasy. May their form be manifest to the entire creation, so that when they see you, they will remember the love of Vrindavan. Just by your glances, they will get the love of Vrindavan within their hearts. So, that is called Divya Unmad. Divya means transcendental, and Unmad means intoxication. Forgetful, just like an intoxicated person is incoherent. He cannot speak properly, he doesn't talk properly, he doesn't behave properly. We think that we have achieved so much. Some of us have been in the movement for 30 years, 40 years. Have we got that Divya Unmad? Have we got that? Nayana galadam ashrudharaya vadanam gadgada rudayagira pulakir nichitam vapu kada tava nama grihaneshu bhavishyati. Simply when we are chanting the holy names, do we tremble? Does our tongue falter? Do we have streams of tears in our eyes? Do we have these symptoms? That is our goal. Eventually, by the mercy of His divine grace, when we perform our sadhana bhakti perfectly, then we can go into Raganuga bhakti, following in the footsteps of the Rajvasis. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad is saying that since Krishna was satisfied in Raj, this is Srimati Radharani speaking, although her name was not there, won't he develop a desire to leave that place and go somewhere else, meaning leave Mathura? So one may ask that Vasudeva Krishna is Lord Jagannath, or Dwarkadish Krishna is Lord Jagannath. So why is he feeling all these ecstasies? And that is the reason what I wanted to kind of bring home, is because he has witnessed. And one of the examples that I generally give to make it easy is sometimes when we are in a stadium and either, let's say, a game of baseball or cricket, and let's say the World Cup is going on, and there are only, let's say, the two teams playing, 11 players on each side, if it's cricket. I don't know, even although I lived in North America for almost 35 years, I have zero knowledge on baseball, so please forgive me. But to give an example, the team members are there, or even let's say somebody's playing football, the two team members are there, but there are thousands and thousands and thousands, hundreds and thousands spectators, either on TV or in person. And when they are witnessing those moments that are so close in terms of the game, that excitement, they all roar, their hearts start thumping, and we feel that excitement. Actually, they are not playing on the playground, they are just spectators. They feel those great moments. So, Lord Jagannath or Vasudeva Krishna was that spectator when he was merged into the body of Nandanandan Krishna, which he misses. So anybody will miss a good game. If a good team is playing, people are willing to pay thousands of dollars just to get that box office seat, right? Because just those players are just like, I remember when I was in Chicago and Michael Jordan was like the number one player, and people were just just to see him, even at a dinner, they would spend thousands of dollars just to get a ticket, just to get a glance of Michael Jordan, as an example, so that we can all relate. Similarly, Vasudeva Krishna is hankering after that sweetness of Vrindavan. And that is why what we see, that is his state, as we see it on the altar, or what had manifest on the request of Naradji. And of course, then he agreed, I will come. And he said, I will manifest in Mahambodes Tire, at the great ocean, to King Indrajumna. And that's how he came in the form of a log, and then the rest is history. So, coming back to this particular component, I says, the gopis have this hope. Radharani has this great hope that I'm sure, we loved him. I'm sure he must be remembering us. He will come back. Mathura is not too far. And he must be telling all those ladies in Mathura, here, in a taunting way, Krishna has been taunted, and this is a very, very high state of unmad, where the lover has been spoken to with harsh words. Out of deep love, the lover is being spoken with harsh words. Yeah, Krishna likes women. That's what they say. So in Mathura, there are many women. So he must be enjoying them. But can the love of those women in Mathura compare to us? And like that, she is Radharani speaking to the bee. Now, in the end of the purport, it is mentioned that perhaps it is the opinion of some of the Rasik Acharyas to hear such taunts and to hear such harsh words. Krishna, he came in the form of that bee. Because for him, even the most choicest verses of the Vedas, that's why one of the names of Krishna is Uttam Shlok. Uttam means choice, topmost, best. Shloka means the verses or the, what do you call, the kirti, the shlokas, meaning the eulogizing Krishna. So Krishna is eulogized with the top verses from the Vedas by many, many Brahmanas who are well versed. But Krishna prefers to hear the taunts of the gopis. Krishna prefers to hear their sourness and their anger, especially of Srimati Radharani. So it is said that he came to hear directly as a bee, present there. That is one of the sentiments. And here in this verse, I tell you, this is very heartbreaking. I remember some of the songs that are composed that are exactly the same sentiments that have been expressed between the talks with Radharani and Radharani and Uddhav. There's a very famous bhajan where it says, Ho chithiya le ja re Uddhav, जाके कहियो कन्हैया से विरह सहा नहीं जाए. Oh Uddhav, please take our letter, please convey our message to Krishna that now that separation is unbearable. कैसी निगोड़ी मेरी हाथ की रेखा रूठे जो कन्हैया तो मुड़ के न देखा. Radharani is saying that look at my lines on my hand. Like somebody who is into astrology and palmistry, they can read the lines of the hand, like how long is our life, or how much money, or what are the weaknesses, or what are the plus points, and that is shown in our palm due to the line. So the gopis are saying, look at my lines on my hand, they are so horrible. Like we are so unfortunate. कैसी निगोड़ी मेरी हाथ की रेखा रूठे जो कन्हैया मुड़ के ना देखा. He became so upset at us that he left Vrindavan and he did not even turn back and look at us. See the state of that Divya Unmad. कदम की डारी पे खिलते नहीं है फूल, वृंदावन की गलियन में मिलित धूट, वृंदावन की गलियन में उठती नहीं है धूल. The Kadam tree has got so many beautiful flowers, but now because Krishna is gone, they have stopped giving flowers. And even the dust in Vrindavan that is shaken up, because when Krishna goes in the morning taking the cows out, and when he comes back in the afternoon, the Godhuli, Go means the cows and Dhuli means the dust. So now the dust is not rising in Vrindavan. कौन चुराएगा माखन मोर, तेरे बिना लागे मोहन जीवन को. Who is going to steal my butter? The gopis are thinking, where is he? He'll come now. He will come now. But no, he's gone. He's gone to Mathura. Who's going to steal my butter? They're crying, all of them. And then says, without Krishna, our life has become kor. Kor means become empty, become dry. Our lives have become dry. कौन फोड़ेगा मेरे जल की रे मटकी, निकसे ना तन से प्राण क्यों जान अटकी. हो चिट्ठिया ले जा रे उद्धो, जाके कहियो कन्हैया से विरह सहा नहीं जाए. He says, who will break my water pots? Without you, O Mohan, O most enchanting one, our life has become completely dry. उद्धो जाके कहना हम कुछ ना कहेंगे, रूठे जो कन्हैया तो फिर रूठने न देंगे. You please tell them, oh Uddhav, you please tell him that we will not make him upset again. We will be very nice to him, because the gopis in Madhurya Rasa, they are full of taunts and they're full of different kinds of talks that are of that nature, which is known as, according to our Varsika Acharyas, there are two kinds of bhav of the gopis. One is known as the Bhamya bhav and one is known as the Dakshin bhav. Dakshin means the rightist gopis. So Radharani's cousins like Chandravali, Shaibya, etc., they are the rightist. And in that mood, they are very subservient to Krishna. Whatever Krishna wants, we will do. And they feel that we will please Krishna in all respects. But the leftist mood, which is Radharani and her camp, is called Bhamya bhav, where they are possessive of Krishna. So the Dakshin bhav is, we are yours. And the Bhamya bhav, where Radharani and her camp is, you are ours. That possessiveness. And in that possessiveness, the controlling nature of the women of Raj in the Madhurya Rasa is of the highest in nature, which I mentioned that Krishna doesn't prefer to hear this Vedas slokas compared to even their gari or their abusive words that they use. Then she says, झूठ भी कहेंगे उसे सच मान लेंगे अब ना यशोदा से चुगली करेंगे. So if Krishna is even lying to us, we will say, yes, okay, Krishna. Okay, you're right. Otherwise, the mood of Radharani and the gopis is, even if Krishna is speaking the truth, oh no, you're a liar. We know there are so many different instances, like the Radhakund appearance. We know that how Krishna, tried to impress the gopis, after killing that bull. Aristasura, I'm a great wrestler. And the gopis say, although he did a good thing because all the Vrajvasis were scared of that demoniac bull, but then Radharani and the gopis said, look at that son of Nandaman. The father is such a gentlemanly person and he has committed a big sin. He has done go hatya. He has killed a cow. So he should repent. So like such taunts, although Krishna did a wonderful thing by killing the demon Aristasur. But then Krishna says, okay, so what should I do now? Well, then you go to all the different holy places and take a bath and give dakshina to a lot of Brahmins, and then you will be purified. So Krishna says, no problem, I'll do it right now. So of course, he is the Supreme Person of Godhead. Yogamaya remains aloof for a second and she tells, come on, all the rivers, our Lord and Master is calling. So Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati, Kaveri, etc., all those rivers came. They offered obeisances to Krishna. And then Krishna says, please, I need to take a bath. Oh, it is our pleasure. And then that's how Krishna Kund formed. The Krishna Kunda in Govardhan. So now Krishna says, now I'm cleansed. So now you can come and enjoy with me in this pool. So this is but before you do that, you are all impurified because you have sided a demon, Aristasur. So you are all accomplices in one sense of a great sinner. He was creating havoc in Vraj. And you are siding a great demon by advocating for him. So what about you? You need to take a bath. So you come in. All the rivers are here. And actually Krishna wanted to enjoy with them by making them feel guilty. So Radharani and the gopis say, we can create our own kunda. So then these very simple gopis started digging with their fingers and they broke their chudis, their bangles, and started digging, trying to see if any water comes out. And that did not happen. So eventually they all lined up and they brought water from Mansi Ganga, which is several kilometers away in the region of Govardhan. And then Krishna felt really bad about his behavior. So these are the finer interactions which is not possible in Vaikuntha. That is not possible in the mood of awe and reverence and opulence. Not even possible in Mathura and Dwarka with those Krishnas. And then Krishna eventually, just simply glanced at that place, and then the huge hole came and they started pouring the water. They were all perspiring. And then Krishna ordered the rivers, please fill yourself. So then that happened to be the Radhakund, which is the highest place of ecstasy. So the point is that so the Radharani and the gopis saying, please come back. Oh Krishna, we will, whatever. Even if you say it's day, even if it's night and you say day, we will agree. And if you say it's night, if it is night and you say it's day, we will agree. Or whatever, even if you lie, we will agree with you. So that's not their nature in the Bhamya Bhav. But so we will do that. Aur ab na Yashoda se chugli karenge, and we will not complain to Mother Yashoda. Otherwise, Mother Yashoda was bothered every minute by the gopis. Your son did this. Today I went to the Jamuna and he broke the pots. And not only that, I was going in Barsana and I was going through that narrow lane, the Khor Sakri, and he came with his coward boys and he broke them. Then he made a mess with everything. This yogurt was supposed to go to Mathura. And now look what he has done. And they were complaining. And Mother Yashoda internally was very happy. That, and the gopis were internally happy. So like this, I'll take a couple of minutes and share another moment. Yes, Prabhu. that will bring the ecstasy. There's another very nice song that brings in, he says, and this is in actually in Gujarati, which is of a very, very high nature, something similar to this. He Uddhavji, he mara wala ne, vadine ke joji, mane to manavi le jore. He Uddhavji, he mara wala ne, vadine ke joji. मथुरा ना राजा क्या छो, गोवाड़ो ने भूली गया छो, मानथी तोली रया छो रे. हे उद्धव जी हे मारा वाला ने, वडीने के जोरे. एक बार गोकुड़ आवो, माताजी ने मोड़े थाओ, गायों ने हम भाड़ी जाजो रे. हे उद्धव जी हे मारा वाला ने, बड़ी ने के जो जी. Radharani and the gopis are saying, oh Uddhav, please, when you go back to Mathura, tell Krishna, tell him, chastise him, convince him. Tell him, give him a message that you are weighing yourself because you are the great king in Mathura. Manthi. Man means pride. Like, you weigh gold or you weigh some things in a scale. So in your scale, Manthi, with so much pride, now I am the king of Mathura and Vrindavan is nothing. So please tell him that you are on that scale where you're weighing yourself. On one side is the weight and one side is the pride. And you're weighing yourself with pride. He says, Mathura na Raja. Now they are addressing with a taunt. Oh Mathura na Raja. Oh king of Mathura. Where are you? Where are you? Govado ne bhuli gaya cho. This verse right here. You have forgotten the coward boys. Radharani is saying that. Govado ne bhuli gaya cho. Man thi bhuli gaya cho. Because of your pride, you have become a great Kshatriya king. You have forgotten. And you have forgotten the cows. Gayon ne hambadi jajo re. You have even forgotten the cows. Mataji ne mode tha ore. You know what the situation of Mother Yashoda is? She's completely emancipated. Your father Nanda Maharaj, he's not eating. They're not, none of us. We are completely finished. Please come and show your face. Hey Uddhavji, mara wala ne vadi ne ke joje. So this is there's so much more, but I think I will stop here. The verse is, O Uddhav, it is indeed regrettable that Krishna resides in Mathura. Does he remember his father, household affairs, his friends, the coward boys, Subal? Specifically, it is mentioned in the purport. Oh great soul, does he ever talk about us? Does he ever talk about us? Now he's in a big city, big man. Does he even remember his maidservants? When will he lay on our heads his scented hand with a guru? So the word that is used is maidservants is kimkara, kimkaris. Kimkari is a very special word for gopis who are constantly serving Radharani and Krishna. Kim in Sanskrit means what and kari means to do. So even before they finish one seva, they are immediately asking Lalita and Vishakha, what else can we do? What else can we do? What else can we do? Kim kari. In that bhajan, perhaps Subal Prabhu, you know that bhajan. You are a nice musician. Gopinath mama nivedana suno, Vishay durjana, sada kamrata Vishay durjana. Tomar kim karo yami. Bhaktivinoda Thakur somewhere in the middle says, Tomar kim karo ami. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who has composed this bhajan, says, I am your kimkari. Kimkar means I am. So that shows that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is in that gopi bhav, in that manjari bhav, who is constantly serving. And we find that in the verse of the verses of the Mangalarti. Which one? Verse number 6. Nikunja yuno ratikeli siddhya yaya alibhir yuktir apekshaniya tatra ati dakshat ati vallabhasya vande guru Sri Charnaravindam. What is the simple meaning is that because they are so dear to Radha Krishna. Why? Because they are always apekshaniya. Alibi means the gopis. And they are always desirous of getting more service. Nikunja, Rati Keli Siddhya. Within the bowers of Vrindavan, they are so experts in the service of Radha and Krishna. Like this is new Seva Kunj. So Seva Kunj is a bower in Vrindavan, where Radha Damodar temple is, Radha Shyam Sundar Mandir is. So it's Seva Kunj. There are many, at that time especially, there were many Nikunjas. So in the Nikunja Seva, they were experts, these Manjaris. Nikunja, Rati Keli. Rati Keli means the amorous pastimes of Radha Krishna. Rati Keli Siddhya, they have attained that perfection. And Ya Alibhir, meaning the different gopis like Lalita, Vishakha. Yukti Rapekshaniya. Yukta means to engage. Please engage me. They are praying to Lalita, Vishakha, please engage me constantly. Therefore, they are known as Kimkaris. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to this exalted Brahmara Geet. It's so amazing. I could not even probably go into the verses of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Anyways, but it gave me a lot of ecstasy. Thank you so much for engaging me in this seva. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Prabhupada. I don't know if we have time for a question or two, or if there's some comments, Subal Prabhu. So.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Wonderful class, and we're grateful that you came.
I'm grateful that you gave me this service, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.